Attention passionate Seattle SCHNEIDER fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SCHNEIDER fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. What if I told you that the Seahawks might be about to make a move that could seriously shake up the entire NFC West? Yeah, you heard that right. Rumors are swirling around a potential trade that could see the Seahawks bring in a key piece for their backfield, Joe Mixon. And I know, it sounds like another long shot, but when you look at the current landscape of the NFL and how the Seahawks are shaping up, it could be exactly what they need to push for that playoff push and maybe even a deep run in the postseason. Let's break down what's happening here. The Houston Texans, sitting at a solid 7-2 record, are facing some tricky financial waters. They've got a cap situation that's pretty tight, around $14 million over the cap, and with a lot of their resources tied up, especially after extending C.J. Stroud, they're eyeing some moves to get under the cap and bolster their roster. One of the players they're reportedly interested in moving is Joe Mixon. Now, Mixon is a proven veteran, and at 29 years old, he's still got a lot of juice left in those legs. His numbers this season tell the story. In 2025, he's carried the ball 152 times for 812 yards and 7 touchdowns, averaging 5.3 yards per carry, an impressive figure considering the context. His PFF grade of 86.9 indicates he's been a reliable and productive back, with a yards after contact rate of 82%, showing he's tough to bring down. Besides that, Mixon is also a threat as a receiver, with 28 catches for 232 yards and 3 touchdowns, making him a versatile weapon out of the backfield. Now, why would the Texans consider trading Mixon, especially when they're doing pretty well at 7-2? Well, the team's backfield has taken some hits, and they're trying to balance their cap sheet to keep their defense and secondary competitive. Their defense, which is allowing just 4.0 yards per carry, is strong, but the offense has been a bit inconsistent. There's also speculation that the Texans are prioritizing bolstering their pass rush after some whispers about extending their young quarterback, C.J. Stroud. They're looking at ways to free up cap space, and trading Mixon, who carries a manageable but not cheap contract, might help them address other needs, particularly on the defensive line or secondary. Meanwhile, the Seahawks are sitting pretty at 6-2, and they've got around $12 million in cap space to work with. They've been quietly building a solid team, and one of the key areas where they've been looking to improve is their running game. Enter Joe Mixon. Adding him to a backfield that already features Kenneth Walker III, who has been absolutely electric this season, could be a real game changer. The tandem of Mixon and Walker would give Seattle a dynamic, dual-threat ground attack that defenses simply can't handle. Mixon's ability to gain yards after contact, averaging 4.0 yards after contact per run, would complement Walker's explosive style perfectly. It's a combo that could elevate Seahawks' efficiency on offense, especially since, as a team, they're generating around 15% more expected points per play when both are on the field. The numbers support this potential upgrade. When you compare Mixon to the Seahawks' current running backs, the difference is clear. Mixon averages about 1.6 more explosive runs per game, and his 12% higher receiving touchdown rate would open up even more options for Geno Smith. The Seahawks' offense has been solid, but adding Mixon could push them into elite territory, especially considering his history of being a reliable, high-yield back who can carry a heavy load. His ability to control the clock, especially in close games, and his vision out of the backfield. He's amassed over 8.0 yards in his career, make him a real X-factor as they gear up for the stretch run. And let's not forget the bigger picture here. The NFL playoff picture is shaping up to be fiercely competitive, and with the Seahawks positioning themselves as contenders, making a move for a player like Mixon could be the difference between a good season and a historic one. Their chances to reach the Super Bowl are already looking promising, but an addition like Mixon could boost their odds even further, especially with the Super Bowl odds now at +2.0, but potentially moving closer to +100 if they add a proven weapon like him. The idea of Mixon being a key part of the Seahawks' playoff run echoes the impact that Derrick Henry had when he helped elevate the Ravens' rushing attack last year. Mixon, with his vision, experience, and power, could be that same kind of catalyst, helping Seattle control the clock, wear down defenses, and keep their offense on the field longer. Of course, the Texans aren't just going to give away Mixon for nothing. The rumor is that Seattle would need to offer a second-round pick in the 2026 draft, which isn't a small price, but one that could pay off big time if Mixon helps the Seahawks make another deep playoff push. The trade would be especially significant if you consider how much the Seahawks have already improved on offense. Their passing game is solid, but adding a running back of Mixon's caliber would make their attack even more balanced and unpredictable. It's all about creating mismatches, and with Mixon's ability to run between the tackles, catch out of the backfield, and break long runs, defenses would have a nightmare trying to contain Seattle's offense. Looking at the bigger picture, this potential move could be a turning point for Seattle's entire strategy. It's about building a team that's not just good but relentless, capable of controlling games on both sides of the ball. Plus, with Geno Smith leading the charge and a strong offensive line protecting him, the Seahawks are in a prime position to maximize the impact of a player like Mixon. His experience, combined with the youth and explosiveness of Walker, could make Seattle's rushing attack one of the most dangerous in the league, something that could propel them to consistent wins and ultimately a deep playoff run. In terms of the divisional implications, if the Seahawks add Mixon, it could be a real problem for NFC West rivals. The 49ers and Rams are battling for supremacy, but if Seattle's offense becomes more balanced and explosive, they could take a significant step ahead. It's all about adding that extra piece that makes your team unstoppable, and Mixon could be just that. Imagine the Seahawks running the ball effectively, controlling the clock, and keeping their defense fresh to shut down opponents. That's the kind of recipe for success that could put Seattle in the Super Bowl again. And let's be real, Mixon's presence in the backfield could also boost the morale and confidence of the entire team. Players feed off that energy, and having a proven playoff performer who's been to the Pro Bowl multiple times instills a winning mentality. The Seahawks have been building something special this season, and bringing in a guy like Mixon might be the final puzzle piece to push them over the edge. Plus, considering his durability, he's been fortunate with injuries. He's a reliable option that can handle the grind of the NFL postseason. All in all, this trade scenario isn't just speculation. It's a move that could reshape the Seahawks' offense and their future prospects. The NFL is always about adding that extra spark, that game-changing player who can turn the tide in critical moments. Mixon might be that guy, and if the Seahawks can swing a deal with the Texans, it could be a game-changer for their Super Bowl aspirations. The division, the conference, and maybe even the league better watch out because Seattle might be about to make a bold statement. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Seattle Seahawks news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So Seahawks fans, what do you think about this potential move? Do you believe Joe Mixon could be the missing piece that propels Seattle back to the top? Or do you think there are better options out there? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because your opinion really matters, not just to us, but to the entire Seahawks nation. This could be the beginning of a new chapter, one where Seattle dominates the NFC West and makes a real run at the Super Bowl. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Seattle Seahawks news. We're in this together, and the best is yet to come.